JJ, you've been playing Astrobot. Before we
Yeah,
get to
boy,
Astrobot,
have I.
um, let's talk about the game you've been playing called BZZZT.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's a digital only game because nobody's gonna go in its store and ask for uh,
BZZZT.
uh yeah, I listen, this is a short and sweet review for
You're
this.
playing it on Switch,
I'm
correct?
playing it on Switch.
Okay.
It's the art style is genuinely gorgeous. It's got a
Mm-hmm.
great soundtrack. This is what I kind of consider like there's that, I don't know what you call these types of games. I would just call them Meat Boy likes.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of thing where it's just like, oh, this is a brutal platforming game. There are obviously some shooter shits going on in there, but uh it's really just like you get through the stage
Hmm.
safely and you're good. And it has collectibles hidden like not hidden, you see those screws, like
Mm-hmm.
you're collecting those screws as you go to there. There's a set number of those and a set timer. Like you can just casually go your way through it, although it's not really conducive. The play style isn't conducive to that. It's like if you just stand still, you're gonna die. It really
Sure.
just wants you to keep moving, and you will die and you will restart. You got all your typical, you got your double jumps, you got your air dashes, you got all that stuff. So yeah, you beat the level, you just beat the level and move on. Yeah, then you get like medals for collecting all the bolts and then collecting all of the or beating it in a certain amount of time. I don't know what, it's good.
I mean,
It's
it's been on PC, right?
yeah, it's been on PC, I guess. I don't know. I've never heard about it before this. For getting the code. I like it. I like it a lot. I think this is one of those perfect Switch games where it's just like just sit down at night and blast through a handful of these platforming stages. And one thing I'll say it should get more credit for is that I really respect a game that makes the hit boxes on the collectibles a little big.
Nice.
So like you don't have to be right on top of it. Like if you're just in the general vicinity, chances are you're gonna get it. It doesn't. It's not really mean about the hitbox for those bolts, which I appreciate a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll say that I like the soundtrack in this. You can't hear it in this trailer, but this soundtrack is.
I was going to say a lot of these
good.
A lot of these time trial sort of games always like live or die by their art style, and like if the songs are like super catchy or like super in like what the like aesthetic and style is.
It's like it's like a weird techno lo-fi soundtrack. It's kind of cool. There's even lyrics in some of the songs too. So
yeah, because I think anybody that's like into those styles of games know that unless you're like super good, you're never going to be in the top 100 of any of those leaderboards. So it's always like, does like the game resonate? Because it's you can hit A or whatever button it is to jump and run in a direction in just about any game, but what is the driving force moving you? And if it's music or hey, I saw a 2D wall run animation in there, I'm on board with that. Like that looks cool.
And I like the game's aesthetic. It's like the like it's not it's pixel graphics, but it's not trying to be like look like an SNES game or anything. It's everything's very well animated and very well defined. Like nothing like blends into the background or anything. It's much more pixel art cartoon than anything, and it's a really good aesthetic and it's really good animations. So that's like it's short and sweet for this one, but I think it's a valuable addition to any sort of like, especially the Switch. I feel like this is the game that was like, this is what the Switch lives by, this kind of thing.
Like, and we're getting towards the end of the Switch's lifespan, so these kinds of games are actually really good to have on to keep you coming back to this device.
Yeah,
because a lot of people now are going to be relegating their Switch to I'll keep it in the car. I'll just throw it in my backpack in
It's
case.
in my backpack all the time. Yeah.
And I probably won't be playing
this
it as much at home.
This thing hasn't been sitting in the dock in a year and a half.
In a while, because there hasn't been really, since Tears of the Kingdom, there hasn't been a ton of massive games. So, I'm guessing that it's going to be, games like this are great to have on it because you could just kind of.
That's why
it's on the Switch right now. I could play this for about 15.
That's
20
why
minutes.
Nintendo consoles end with Mario parties.